Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Found definitive proof my girlfriend has been cheating, but we are on a road trip. Should I wait to confront her? Most info is in the title. Thought I was just being insecure, but she asked me to navigate and I saw a nail in the coffin text pop up while holding her phone. She has no idea I know, but it is destroying me right now, but I think I'm keeping myself composed enough on the outside to hide it. We are stopping tonight, and we'll be back to my place tomorrow. Should I wait until we are back home? I hope I have the patience to wait that long. Trust me, for your safety, as like she doesn't leave you in the middle of the road, wait until you're home. Also, you're obviously gonna be angry and sad, so you can make up an excuse. Lastly, don't take her back. Once you confront her, go no contact forever and forget her. Hell, I was gonna suggest you leave in the middle of the night while she is asleep. Then send a text telling her you know everything and to never contact you again, then block her on all media platforms. This is one of those suggestions that's fun for a bit of harmless online venting, but would be an utterly terrible idea in real life. It's not fun, I just think it's for its own safety and that he doesn't have to suddenly spend a huge amount of money on traveling. If he can afford it, then he should be sure he can access it before confronting her. The thing about ghosting her I said because I was cheated on multiple times, and because I was isolated and he had access to manipulating me, I stayed like an idiot. The thing is, I'm not an idiot, and neither would be Op. When they cheat, there is always a chance they'll emotionally abuse you, so you stay. It's a terrible idea to leave in the middle of the night, or to block her on everything. And why? She'd be stranded without a car far from home. It's a nuclear option. Reread my question again. Tell her that her new BF can come pick her up. Don't do this. This is terrible advice. Wait until you're home. All of that dead time on the road can mess with your head. I wouldn't want to be trapped in a car arguing with someone who has demonstrated that they don't care about me. Especially not if it's their car. Yes, you should wait. As uncomfortable as you're feeling right now, it wouldn't be nearly as uncomfortable as you'd feel sleeping next to someone really angry with you. Wait until I'm back home tomorrow or at the hotel tonight? I'd what it will be like to have to sleep next to her. Wait until you're home. Well, either that, or catch a bus or something. But either way, the point is, as I said, there's no way you're going to be feeling better around her after confronting her, so put it off until you don't need to talk to her anymore if worst comes to worst. Do you have a way to get back home without her? Any way to deadhead it home, or would that be dangerous? See if you can search her phone tonight when she is in the shower or asleep and send the proof to yourself. You don't want her to gaslight and destroy the evidence. I mean, he doesn't need to confront her with evidence. They're not married and going to court. He can just tell her, I know you cheated, it's over. True. Some people seek confrontation not for argument's sake, but so that they can get some raw closure by looking the offending party in the face and saying, I know you cheated, please tell me the truth. No? Here's the proof. It's over. It can be therapeutic, but I can understand if it's not everyone's cup of tea. What did the text say? I'll post pics in an update. Context: my flight got cancelled a few days ago to go meet her and start the drive. She has to stay an extra night at her temp job as a result. Once we link up, she asks me to text her mom back. I see a text to another guy that says my friend's flight got cancelled, can I stay again tonight? Then I scrolled up and it got worse from there. Damn man, I'm sorry that's happened to you. You might not be too keen on me brightsiding, but at least you caught her now and you know what kind of person she is. Don't devalue yourself, devalue her ability to hurt you going forward. It's gonna hurt, especially if you hella love her, but it will be what you need to move on and be in a better place when someone worth it comes along. Stay strong, bruv. That's a brutal man, I'm sorry she did you like that. Sometimes we have to find out the hard way people aren't who we thought. I suggest leaving her at a motel, but you do whatever you think is best. Since you know she has somewhere to stay, I would ask her to get in and drive her to her hookup's place. Just wait until you get home. If you still had a week together, that would be different, but it is only 24 more hours. Don't waste any money or stress trying to get another ride home. Just say you aren't feeling well, which would not be a lie. You said it was a nail in the coffin text. Aside from a photo of them banging, not sure what that could be. I'm imagining a notification popping up with only a portion of a sentence, and even if it had something explicit, without any context, you could be misjudging the situation. I would at least give her an opportunity to explain when you are home. That's assuming you don't already have concrete proof, of course. Road trip is perfect, though I don't think it's worth discussing or saying that you know. If it's your car, you have the total option of where you would like to leave her depending on how pissed off and hurt you are: hotel, curb, scenic spot you get out for a moment to look. If it's her car, just step out for a minute at dinner or even the hotel and never come back. If you're feeling generous, leave a note somewhere that you know about what she's been doing. Don't say where you are or what you're doing. Just get a flight, bus ticket, or rental car home and let the ambiguity eat at her while you're already comfortable at home. The more fun you have with it now, the better therapy it will be for getting over it later. Just some ideas. Ditch her on the road and ghost her. It's her car. Not about to catch a theft charge. No relationship is worth going to jail for. Update: found definitive proof my girlfriend has been cheating, but we are on a road trip. Should I wait to confront her? With screenshot. Here is the previous post. Additional context. We are in our mid-20s and have been dating over a year. She had a great 2-month temporary job opportunity a few states over. Her family drove her there with her stuff. We arranged for me to drive back with her. My flight to go meet her earlier this week got cancelled and I booked a flight for the next morning. I call her later that night and she is very quiet and says she doesn't want to talk about it at the moment. Fast forward to the morning and she picks me up from the airport in her car. About 2 hours into the drive she asks me to text her mom back and I see this text from the night before to a guy she had never mentioned, next to my thumb, https://imager.com/shay/la/nwe.
Yup, I'm not going anywhere MN. My friend's flight got cancelled. Is it okay if I stay the night and leave in the morning?
Obviously, her referring to me as her friend was an immediate red flag. So I scrolled up and confirmed it was as bad as it looked. I'd rather not share some of those screenshots. I took these screenshots while she was in the shower, so you can see they texted a couple more times that day. So if you're paying attention, the night my flight was cancelled she went and stayed with this guy. That's why she was so quiet and short on the phone with me. There are no major cities between where she picked me up and where we live. And since it was her car I did not see a safe opportunity to run. We are also an interracial couple and we were going through some really sketchy areas. I took most people's advice and waited until I was back home the next day in my own apartment to confront her because it seemed like the safest option. I confront her by saying that I know exactly what she did, who, what, where type of thing. I just asked that she admit it, and she said I'm grown up enough to admit I did it. No emotion from her and I give her choice words, specifically about how she spent the night with him once my flight was cancelled. She said she had nowhere else to stay. Skeptical. Called her a piece of shit and she said she knows and I kicked her out. I called the other guy as soon as she left and he apparently knew about me, but she said we were on a break. He said she talked shit about me all the time, saying I was bad in bed and unsupportive. The thing is, this dude has the emotional intelligence of a middle schooler and called her easy after they first hooked up. The next morning she called me crying and said one of the girls at a movie night called her easy and I comforted her and tell her that people that talk like that are stuck in middle school and are shitty people. Then she stayed with him for another month. It is straight up the most pathetic thing I've encountered in my life. He went no contact with her after I called, and he said we both got played. I know that she only said those things about me to try and justify her shitty behavior, but it still seems so uncharacteristic of the person I knew. I have not contacted her. She has texted me a few times, saying first to never contact her or her family again. I was really friendly with her mom. Second, that she is a duck up and she understands she hurt me. Last, about shipping back my stuff. That's as much of an apology as I have received yet. She also called me right after it happened, but my voicemail box was full, so no idea what she would have said. In hindsight, there were some signs after she moved away, but I chalked it up to insecurity and gave her the benefit of the doubt. Seems like there are two different versions of her in my head. Regardless, she's gone from my life forever. We had plans for the next few months with our families, but not anymore. Overall, not fun. Would not recommend anyone get cheated on or do the cheating. Sorry man. Been there, it's rough no matter how many times it happens. Keep your chin up. You sound like a solid dude. You're going to be better off, and she'll probably try to backtrack at some point when she keeps letting herself get used while being an inwardly terrible person. Appreciate it, thumbs up. Hugs, let it go. Get help if you can, it hurts but better now than in 2 years, 5 years or even longer. It's hard to see it as a blessing now, but you're young, learn from this and what flags you may have missed. You've got time to heal and find someone that will love you for you. Smile. You live and learn. She's a finished chapter in your life. Now it's time to focus on yourself. Don't worry, next time you'll know better. Thanks for the update. Cheers. Long distance GF, 25F, of 4.5 years cheated with a childhood friend. I'm 25 meters, struggling to sort out my feelings and my motives in how to decide whether to stay or go. Advice. My girlfriend has a childhood friend that she grew up with, and they've had a very up and down friendship throughout their lives. There have been periods when they've been super close, and periods when they've gone months or years without communicating at all. When my girlfriend and I first got together about 4.5 years ago, they were still talking, and she mentioned that while he'd made romantic/sexual advances on her in the past, she'd never felt the same way back, and she assured me that I had nothing to worry about between them. Shortly thereafter, they began one of their lull periods, and they went almost 2 years without talking at all. Then, about a year ago, she told me that she'd started talking to him again, but also that she'd been having thoughts and dreams about what it would be like to hook up with him. One of the ways that she and I differ is that she sometimes sees her dreams and unconscious thoughts as a reflection of reality, and I typically don't. She asked me what I thought about that, and my answer was admittedly pretty squirrely because it was a weird thought and a pure hypothetical at the time. After a lot of maybe this, maybe that talk, we eventually dropped the subject and it didn't come up again until about 3 months ago, when she raised the question again. Again, my answers were kind of wishy-washy because I didn't think it would ever happen and I thought she'd be mature enough to get past the thoughts. And again, after a couple of weeks of talking it over, it disappeared. 2 months ago, she came to visit me for a long weekend. We had a really nice visit, and seeing each other for the first time in 5 months in person was super nice for both of us. We talked more seriously than we ever had about me moving in with her when she starts vet school in California this month. We've never lived together. I'm from the East Coast and she's from the West Coast. I felt like our long-distance relationship was finally going to be a thing of the past, and we were both super excited about what the future had in store. About a week after she left, she sprung some big news on me. Not only had she been talking to this guy a bunch, but she had plans to visit him for a weekend about 2 weeks after she notified me. I was taken aback, but in an effort not to be too controlling, I told her I was fine with her going to see him. In the week leading up to her visit, she once again brought up the idea of the two of them hooking up, not because she had any feelings for him, but because she couldn't get rid of these thoughts she was having about the two of them. The night before she left, 4 Fridays ago, I finally said enough is enough. and in these exact terms, I told her that if she chose to hook up with him, that I wouldn't be okay with it and that it would hurt me immensely. The next night, that Saturday, she got drunk and had sex with him. To her credit, she was completely honest with me when she got home, admitting what she did and saying that it was the only way she felt she could get closure for these pervasive thoughts she was having. But as I said I would be, I was, and still am, immensely damaged by her actions. She made an absolutely colossal mistake, one that I won't be able to forgive for quite some time if I ever can. But since it's happened, she's been saying and doing all of the right things. She admits that she should never have done it, has expressed tremendous regret, and has sworn up and down that she would never do it again and that she wants to do everything she can to make things right. She's been respectful of the space I need, and of the emotional baggage I've been carrying the few times we've talked since the incident, and she's been going to therapy to try to get to the bottom of why she made the choice she did. I still see so much good in her and I sense authenticity in her wants to make things better. After 4.5 years, I like to think I know when she's being truthful, and I believe that she is. I couldn't know she was lying when she assured me I had nothing to worry about when she went to visit him because that conversation was over text. But the counterpoint is this: she completely disregarded and disrespected my boundaries and actively did something I said would hurt me. Moreover, she did something that I gave up doing to be with her. She had had previous relationships before me, I hadn't. But I gave up the right to have experiences with other women to be with her, and yet, she did the very thing I sacrificed to commit to her as the one for me. She has said that she's open to me having experiences with other women if I'm willing to stay with her, but she also admits that she's afraid of me finding someone that I think is better for me than she is. I'm fairly certain she's only entertaining the idea of me seeing other women because she wants to keep me and not because she's actually comfortable with it. A few nights ago, we talked and I made it clear that I wasn't ready to move in with her for the time being. I told her that I needed to be with my family for support until I can be sure that I'm ready to forgive and to move on. I didn't feel great making that decision because my unwillingness to move in immediately means she either has to shoulder the cost of an expensive California apartment alone or find a roommate, but I feel like it was my right to say that I need time to heal. But when I told her what I needed, she broke down crying, told me she didn't want to talk to me, said a half-assed goodbye and hung up on me. For whatever reason, seeing her break like that felt awful. As hurt as I am by what she did, I still don't enjoy seeing her in emotional distress. We talked later that night to clear the air, but the only way to do that was for me to back down on what I wanted. She told me that she at least wanted me to visit her and that we should try to set a date for when I can move in. I'm okay with the idea of visiting to see how things go, but I'm not as keen on committing to a hard move-in date. To be very blunt, I feel like her emotional response to my request pressured me into feeling like I should give in to her needs and not listen to my own, and I feel like I have to appease her even though I also feel like I need time to care for myself. I still think there's a very real chance we could have a future together. She hasn't talked to the other guy since this happened, and she's been respectful of my boundaries and needs as I try to cope with the agony I've been experiencing. She has reassured me about the insecurities I've been feeling about my body and mind since this incident, and she has openly admitted that I should make the right decision for me and that nothing else matters right now. So I'm left with two awful feeling options. I can move on from her and risk potentially leaving behind someone who might be a great partner, risk being alone again, and go through the trouble of having to heal and having to find another person who appreciates my mind and body for what they are, or I can stay with her and try my best to heal from this incredibly devastating turn of events, while making every effort I can to not get back at her or hold this over her head, no matter how unfair that may be to me. At this point, I'm just so torn. Some days, I'm leaning toward taking her back, but I can't tell if it's because I actually feel like I can forgive her or because I don't want to hurt her and don't want to find myself alone again, once again faced with the insecurities I had about myself prior to my relationship with her. Other days, the pain and frustration are so intense that I think I just need to move on. Am I making a huge mistake if I take her back? Am I making a huge mistake if I don't? No matter what I do, I know I'll judge myself and others will judge me, and I'm having an incredibly hard time making a decision. I'm not sure there is a completely right answer, but any counsel would be much appreciated. It's always the same decision, stay or go. Most on this sub will encourage you to leave, and you'll see many posts of the betrayed saying I should have listened and tell of how they stayed only to be hurt worse much later. Then there are the select few who've reconciled. This group is abysmal in many ways. The r/us and after infidelity is full of posts griping about their cheating partners who they've stayed with but feel empty, incomplete, lost, etc. With a few tiny exceptions who will insist their relationship is stronger than ever after betrayal. I hope for their sake it's true. You need to only think about yourself and your own healing right now. Don't worry about apartments or any crocodile tears from your GF. Take every second of time you need, even if it means a separation, sort through your feelings and then decide. Too quick a decision based solely on emotion could doom you. She did willingly come forward, but that means nothing if 3 years from now she runs into an old friend again and sleeps with him. She may come forward then and act as she is now. Maybe she'll never cheat again. You dig deep and decide if you can get past it. Forgive her at some point regardless, but only reconcile if you can cope with what she's done, be able to look at her with love again, and not grow resentful/bitter. Vast majority of betrayed people can't do this and are better off with a fresh start. And it sounds like this move gives you a good opportunity to do this. Sorry man. She was crossing boundaries left and right. She told you she was having dreams about having sex with the guy, then went to visit him for a weekend. What did you think was gonna happen? She also mentioned the guy tried to initiate sex before. Now since she cheated, you're saying she's respecting your boundaries. Where were those boundaries before she cheated? She consciously thought about cheating on you, then followed through with it. No way this relationship is gonna work. Later are tests for marriage and she failed. She's manipulating you with the crying and ignoring that she's the one who ducked everything up. What happens when she dreams of hookup with another dude? She ignored your boundaries, she did what she wanted. Do you always want to feel that you will have to police her social media/messaging, to make sure she's not cheating? You are both not married. She had several talks with you about hooking up with this childhood friend and you say it was a mistake. It was a conscious decision on her part. She visited him after these dreams and made her dreams a reality. Foreclosure? Really? I am one that does think some dreams and I know some dreams, déjà vu, not anything too significant, but I do believe in that. But ultimately we are in control of most that happens in our lives that we can control. Please stop thinking of this as a mistake on her part. It was a calculated plan. You even told her that you would be hurt if it happened. She chose to do it anyway. Put the shoe on your foot. Would you have done the same to her in a similar situation? No. And you tell her that you are not comfortable now moving in with her and her selfish reaction, because it was, if she was remorseful, she wouldn't have even expected it, and she does. You are her safety net. Is that how you want to be viewed by her all your life? You are young, she is already revealing to you what sort of person she is here. Oh, she isn't always like that. Yes, she is, she just showed you one red flag after another here. And how do you truly know she hasn't still had contact with him or anyone else? You don't. I'm the first to encourage reconciliation if in a long-term committed relationship with children and entwined lives, not when you are that young and need to experience more life. Guarantee if you continue here, move in, get married, in 10 years she will be hooking up again, based on her dreams and needing closure. What a ducking excuse, kudos for that one, it's new. I would urge you to move on. Here's why. You are on the road to a classically poor decision. Getting tied down too young and too fast. You have been together since you were kids. Instead of doing the dating thing, you were tied down in a pretend, long-distance, relationship. You, meaning both of you, haven't dated enough and had enough different experiences to know what each of you like and want. Neither of you have had enough time alone to know you are capable of being complete human beings on your own. Are you already codependent in an unhealthy way? Being alone is not a risk. It is an opportunity. Next, there is the red flag right in front of your face. She is champing at the bit and has already cheated. She is showing you, she is not ready to settle. Fast forward 5 or 10 years. Add in marriage and 2 kids. Yes, you will both have regrets. You will wish you had taken more time and done more things. Like enjoying your freedom. Stop running towards being knee-deep in dirty diapers and housework. Forget love and soulmates. There are any number of prospective partners out there who would be perfect for you. Both of you. You will never meet them if you remain tied down. Some will be worse than what you have, but some will be better. If you were my son, I would urge you to take a long break. Finish school and find out who you are and what you want. Date and learn. Have some fun and enjoy your youth. I promise you it is a lot more fun than diapers and slogging off to work every day for 30+ years. Thank goodness she didn't have a gangbang dream. Anytime a well-thought and premeditated plan to have sex with someone. I couldn't stay that person. She says do what is best for you but forces you to move in with her? Has no sense. I don't know how you see things. You told her that her thoughts bothered you, etc., and she didn't care. She left and broke your trust. I don't see any good future with such a person. If she really wants to give you your space and time to think about what to do, she shouldn't rush to move. If that happens, you will have no choice but to stay with her. I think she sees it that way, and that's why she's trying to rush the movie. I do not recommend that you continue with her if she has dreams of someone again. Will she do the same to stop having those thoughts? Does she tell you to have experiences with other women? WTF, what is that? Does not make sense. Even she can use that as an excuse to mess with other people. I do not recommend that you stay with someone that she did not take into account when she told her and makes her thoughts an excuse. Tell her how you feel and that you don't think you can continue with her because of that feeling. Even if you decide to stay, the relationship will no longer be the same whatever you do. It seems to me better that you heal yourself and find someone who values you, respects you, and feels safe. Good luck, and I look forward to updates. Sounds like she has been gauging your reaction to this for over a year, and then suddenly the dream came true. You're way too young to deal with this shit. Many adventures are ahead of you. Move on to your next mistake. Good luck. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.